So for step 7, the steering linkage, we have to grab a couple of these parts off the B parts tree, and then we've got these parts coming off of the D parts tree, and this again is the softer plastic parts tree. But we need to make 2 of those, and you can see how this is going to come together. We've got the 2 arms, and then there's this metal rod that's going to connect the 2 hard plastic pieces, and of course we need to put the ball connectors on there. So I've got them all there. There's your ball connectors, the shaft, the tie rod, and then these are the pieces that we're going to be using off the parts tree. So I'll set this up and we'll put this together. So first off, let's get the ball connectors into these pieces here, and you can see with this one, the way that's sitting, you can see that this is where the ball connector is going to go right on here into that hole there. So let's just gonna get that, see if that is correct. Yes. So I stick it into the box wrench because I find that easier, because then you can kind of get a sense of the positioning, and then it goes on a lot easier than trying to meddle with it first. So this looks pretty good. It kind of helps with getting a good start screwing it in, because you can see it's gone in pretty level. And because this is the harder plastic, you're going to know that it's at the end. So there we go. There is one of them. And then on this one, same idea. It's got to be facing up. We know there's a notch there. So it's going to go into this hole here. And again, I'm going to get that started in there. And then basically you can see I'm leveling it, feeling, getting it to where I think it's going to be level as I start pushing it in. And you know that that's going to be going in pretty straight. Yeah. Occasionally I'll still take it out just to see, make sure that it is going in straight and level. But there we go. So there's the ball connector in that one as well. So those 2 pieces are ready to go. And I mean, technically we could grab our tie rod and just put it in. You can see with this one, it needs to go up from underneath, then twist back like that. And then with this one, we can see that the ball connector's on the inside. So we need to stick this up into the hole and then twist it back. So ultimately, that is what it's going to look like. So that part's done. So now we're going to need to build these. And you can see that there needs to be 2 of them. And I didn't actually grab the other rod out of our bag. Oh, yes. So there we go. There's the other shaft. But we need to be able to screw these on. And you can see, well, actually that's going in super easy. So I'm just going to spin that on. Now I'm going to grab the other one, grab the other side, spin that on. But you can see that they want 16 millimeters. So between the ends, they need to be 16 millimeters in length. Now I'm going to show you something too. You can see how they're going on. Well, these ones are going on fairly level, but let's just see what happens as we get closer to the end. Well, if I put this on here, looks like I might have done it too much, so I'm going to start spinning it back. Spinning it back. But I'm also going to measure it out so you can see if it's supposed to be 16 millimeters in between. I want a little more, but it's pretty close. So, you know, when they say 16 millimeters on the instructions, it's if you didn't measure it at all, you're going to be fine in most cases. But I often find that I kind of do a double check and I make sure that it actually is at the 16 millimeters. So you can see here that if I go to the end on one, that pretty much is sitting at the 16 millimeters. So we just need to make another one of those. So again, we'll grab our little threaded shaft, start spinning it on. It's funny because on this kit, this is actually fairly easy to do. A lot of the times you can't even screw the pieces on without, you know, using a set of pliers or something to actually hold the shaft while you're spinning the plastic on, but this seems to be doing okay. So now that they're both more or less on, I'll just spin, and we can kind of match it up to the other one too. Wow. Let's see what we got here. Pretty close. But again, I'm going to do another test myself. So if I go to the end here, I would want to twist it out a bit more. But that's the 16. And really, if I match it up with the other one, they're pretty much bang on as well. So I'm good with that. That's great. Okay, so now that we have that finished, we just need to snap on these arms. So we'll take one and we'll grab our pliers, and I'll grab it from the bottom of here. There. So there's one of them on. And then we just need to do the other. There, that's the easiest way. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. So there we go. That is how it should look when it's finished. So, step 7 is complete. So now we're going to move on to step 8, which is working on the front lower arms.